What's going on, guys? Taylor here. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Talk with Taylor, episode 3. So excited to kind of dive into today's episode. Just a kind of a brief update on everything going on. Work's been crazy busy, but good. We've been adapting some new technologies. We've been adapting some new processes. I'm really building out some training guides with a friend of mine, Sean, in New York. He has an agency in New York, LAF Advisors. Him and I have been kind of going down this rabbit hole of training guides and procedures and building out like a playbook for the agency. So that's kind of what I've been doing recently. It's a lot of work, but I know at the end of the day, it's going to be really great to have for our team. So that's kind of what I've been doing this week. Let's dive into today's episode. Today's episode is going to be sharing the industry, the insurance industry, where we're at, the hard market we're in, me navigating a hard market for the very first time, what I'm seeing in California, how I'm leading the team through this hard market, and kind of where I'm struggling with it, where I see, my successes in it, and so on. So, you may or may not know, depending on whether you work in insurance or not, but I'm sure even if you're just a consumer of insurance, you're probably seeing it and you're feeling it. Basically, what a hard market is in insurance is the insurance companies tighten their guidelines. They strict everything. Rates are going up. They're starting to maybe non-renew some business that is not really profitable. There's a lot of things that factor into it, and I'm not the expert in this, so don't quote me on a lot of this. But I do know that carriers get more strict. Rates are going up, and it gets harder to buy insurance, to sell insurance, and there's so much more, right? Again, no expert in this, so don't take that as like a scientific answer. This is just from what I've been seeing. Again, because since I've been in the industry, it's been fairly easy, what they call a soft market. It's easy to sell insurance. It's relatively easy to buy insurance. And now it's not. So let's kind of dive deep into that, what that looks like, what California looks like, and how we're navigating through it. So if you're purchasing insurance, you're probably seeing that rates are going up, right? Like anything. And rates are normally going to always go up. However, right now, rates are going up a lot. And so it's getting really hard. And one of the biggest key factors or the reasoning for that is because here in the state of California, from what I've been told and what I have read and educated myself on, is that these insurance companies need to regularly get rate increases. But the Department of Insurance in the state has to approve those rate increases. And if they don't, now the insurance company's not charging enough based on how much they're paying out in claims and so on. So they're losing money, right? And so recently, since COVID and everything else, these insurance companies haven't gotten their rate increases. And so they're been undercharging everyone. Well, they're still paying out claims. Things are getting more expensive to fix, right? Cars are getting more expensive to fix. Houses are costing more to rebuild. There's so much more cost with inflation and everything. Their rates aren't meeting how much they're paying out. So what you're seeing a lot of right now, if you're seeing these drastic rate increases, is because they're trying to play catch up from the last couple of years. They haven't been able to. So you're seeing, 30, 40, 50. We've seen some 100, 150% increases. It's wild right now. But that's not it, right? Rate increases is one part of it. The other part is a lot of these insurance companies have pulled out of the state entirely. So you see Farmers, you see Allstate, you see State Farm, you see a lot of our carriers, even on the independent side, have stopped all new business. Maybe they're keeping or renewing if you're a current client, but any new business, we're not putting any new business with them. And it's been really hard, and their guidelines and their rules are getting way more strict. So we're seeing a lot of companies pull out entirely, which is wild to me. I've never seen this before. I've talked to clients where they've called 12 different companies and they can't even get an auto quote. They're like, how am I going to buy auto insurance if nobody can sell it to me? It's just wild. So we're seeing a lot of those companies pulling out still to this day, and it's been going for a while now, but it's just, you see every now and then there's another company pulling out. There's another company pulling out. And so we're just having to educate our clients the best we can on, yes, there's a rate increase, but we're lucky to get that rate increase because Otherwise, we don't have any other markets to go to. You're going to have to pay them more or go try to find something else out there. But good luck, because all of the other options are also in the same boat. So it is really, really difficult. And primarily, we're seeing this on the personal side, the home and auto side. So commercial, yes, is getting hit with rate increases and stuff just because inflation, cost to rebuilds up, properties are going up. Like, there's a lot of the reasons why commercial rates are going up. But I'm not seeing a ton of new companies pulling out of the commercial side. Certain areas, but mainly in the home and auto side, we're seeing it a lot. So it's been really hard, not only for our clients because they're struggling to pay their bills. It's hard for my team because my team is having a hard time explaining to the clients why their premium went up $1,000 or $1,200 and, sometimes even more. And it's hard for them to share that with the client. So I've been having to try to sit with them and say, hey, look, this is kind of how I would approach it, right? And when I say that to them, I know, and I have to come in with empathy, right? I know these clients can't afford it. However, we got to look on the other side of it going, I know you can't afford this, but I don't think there's much else out there. And having that real life conversation versus just saying, ooh, maybe go shop it somewhere else. Or I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to tell them this is going to be bad news. You have to have that conversation with them because they're going to feel it and they're going to see it no matter what. So we're just having a lot of those conversations right now with the team and with our clients and new business coming in the door, people asking for quotes. We're turning a lot away, saying stay where you are because what you have is better than what we can offer. And usually that's never been the case, right? We've always been able to provide multiple options, provide, multiple quotes and get at least some competitive rates. Right now though, it's not so much. So seeing these companies pulling out and then my team struggling with proposing these large renewals or just trying to find a market for a piece of business, it's been really stressful, right? Business has been down a little bit from that reason, right? We are kind of doubling down on the commercial side a little bit more because the personal line side is down. I'm like, let's go full in on the commercial side because we can still write a lot of business on the business. When I say commercial, I mean business insurance, commercial properties, commercial auto, etc. That side we can still write quite a bit, so let's just double down there. But I've never experienced this kind of hard. And after talking to my father-in-law about this and other people that have been in this industry a long time, this isn't the first time this has happened, right? Maybe to not this extent. I'm not real sure. Again, haven't been in this that long, but just talking from my father-in-law, he's like, yeah, this is a hard market. We've gone through these before. We just need to get these rate increases and things will start opening back up. But we talked with my peers and stuff and my employees and they're like, if the rates just keep going up, how are people going to afford it? And that's a very good question. I don't know. But it is what it is. There's part of me that just thinks something's going to have to give because right now there's like really no options out there for auto insurance. We have Mercury, Safeco, Travelers. Those are our three big personal lines carriers right now. Safeco and Safeco and Travelers only want home and auto, and they have to have specific limits and all these you have to follow all these guidelines or else they don't want it. Mercury says, yeah, we'll write your auto, but you got to wait 20 business days for us to approve it. So if somebody needs auto insurance right now, 20 days, they got to wait. They got to park their car and they can't drive. So it's been really, really difficult, right? And it's been hard for me as a leader to keep my team encouraged because I think a lot of times you feel defeated when time and time again you're having these hard conversations or you're not able to write a new piece of business or you can't help the client how you want. It gets discouraging. And I think the biggest thing as a leader here is we gotta empathize for them and be there for them to help them in any way we can. And that's what I'm trying to do is have those conversations, try to cheer them up a little bit, try to see the bright side of all of this, even though sometimes it feels like there is no bright side or good side, right? But I am trying to encourage them to keep going. And, we are still helping no matter, even if there is a big rate increase. We're trying to educate our clients on what's going on in the industry. Maybe if we don't have a market, maybe I try to help them find somewhere that maybe does have an option for them. May not be the best option or the ideal option, but maybe it's something. And so Yeah, and it's crazy because right now we're telling more and more new business clients or personal, stay where you are. Don't rock the boat. Do not try to go canceling your insurance to go find something cheaper, because a lot of times right now in California specifically, this is mainly in California because I don't know what it's like in these other states. California right now, there's not a lot of options out there. So I'm seeing people cancel their insurance over here, call us for auto insurance because now they got this gap in coverage and they don't have an option. So now they got to wait 20 business days. They got to wait 20 business days and they have no insurance. What do you do? And so it's just been really hard. My team is awesome here. They're doing really great through all this, even though it's hard. We have these conversations daily about it. We're always like shocked about what's happening or reading a new article on what's going on. And we're just like, oh my gosh, something's got to give, right? And so, yeah, so navigating this hard market has been a little bit interesting. It's an experience for me. And I can see how this is going to either show us how good we are or show us how weak we are. I think the hard market's going to really weed out the bad agents, because you have to be a good agency. You have to be a strong agent, and an educated, strong agent and agency for these times, because premiums are going up. It's harder to get. You have to be good at what you do to survive this. And so I'm just hoping that shows us our true colors, so we can know whether we need to improve in certain areas, which I think we can always improve, or man, we're doing pretty good. We're rock solid. We haven't really felt a hit. Last month we hit almost 11,000 in new business, and I was really excited about that. And so we are still doing fairly well, and I'm feeling pretty good. So far, I'm just trying to keep everyone's morale up still, because things are getting a little tricky and hard. And I know, and I've talked to other people in other states, because I have friends in other states like New York, and I know they're in a similar situation over there, talking about non-renewals and companies pulling out and having to turn away business just because it's hard. What I feel for is the Farmers and State Farm guys, where they only have the one policies to sell, and they stopped writing new business. So you really have nothing to sell. And I don't know if it's still the case that way. I remember when I read it, it was a couple months ago, that there was no new business at all. Business, home, auto, etc. I don't know if it still is to this day. I got to research that a little bit more, but yeah, it's been crazy. And so, but what it's doing for me, I think personally, is it's strengthening my leadership skills. It's strengthening my conversation skills with clients, because I'm having to have these hard conversations, and it's pushing me to be more open and communicate better with our clients, so they know what's coming up, trying to give them a heads up about their renewals before they just get it and it's a way more and they freak out. Having those processes and procedures in place is really important to have. And I am seeing that, and I'm really hammering down on that. That's why I was talking about in the very beginning of this, was like setting up my playbook and the processes and procedures, because right now we need it more than ever. We need those processes so we can hammer in exactly what we're saying, how we're doing it, how we're educating our clients, and so on. And so, yeah, after all of this, it's just been, it's been a crazy wild ride. And then we were moving offices. So we were moving offices, dealing with all of this. We were short staffed. So the agency was kind of struggling. And then now that we're back to kind of fully staffed again, we're in the office, everybody's good. Now we're just dealing with the companies and the carriers getting wild, Like we had a commercial property actually went from 7,000 in premium. We got the renewal today that my employee came to me with. It was $29,000. That's a almost $22,000 increase. It was a joke, and obviously we're not going to try to pitch that to buy it. We're going to try to find something else. But it's just, some of these companies are doing that to say, we don't want this, but we're going to throw a large number out there, and if you take it, great. If not, no skin off our nose, because we didn't really want it anyway. And so I'm just trying to figure out, how to have those conversations, where to go otherwise, and et cetera. It's been wild. My prediction in all this, I think, like, if you were to ask me, and I'm going to look back at this and wonder, my prediction is I don't think it's going to get any better for the next year or two. That's what everything I've been reading is like, give it a year, give it maybe a year and a half before things to start maybe shifting again. I don't think we're at the end of this yet. And that scares me to think like where it's going to go from here. But I don't know how or what that's going to look like. But I think there's going to be more struggle than it getting better anytime soon. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I just laugh because it's just been a lot, and I feel for my personal lines agents here. They're just like, man, we're not, this is tough. We're sending out bill reminders to each client, which we never have done, because if you're 1 day late on your bill and it cancels for non-payment, there's no reinstatements. There's no grace periods anymore. So we're losing clients that have been with us for 50 years that maybe was out of town and forgot to pay their bill one day, and then they go back to pay it and it's too late. Now Mercury's got a 20-day hold, and none of the other companies want them because there's a lapse. So we're trying to save the clients we have by sending these emails out. And some of the clients feel, we got one today where the client feels like, oh, you don't trust me to pay my bill. I feel offended that you had to send this to me because I always pay on time. I go, I know, we know, and we value that. But we're just sending these out as a courtesy reminder just in case something comes up or something happens. Paid a little early just to make sure. So there's no possible chance of you canceling and us not being able to reinstate it or replace that policy anytime soon. And then we'd lose you as a client. So we'd rather send out this email and try to save you, whether you like them or not. So we're doing that, which we've never done. Because typically these carriers send bill reminders to the clients directly. We don't normally do that. Right now, we are just to try to save our clients from something happening, right? Oh, I didn't get the mail or whatever. So we're doing things just a little bit out of the norm that, we're not normally doing, but we're just trying to do it to retain our clients and to just, again, help our clients as best as we can and to avoid the hard conversations when we can, as much as we can, I should say. So yeah, it's, and again, I think a lot of other people that may be listening to this or that have been in the industry a lot longer may be like, Taylor, this is no big deal. We've been through this before. I haven't. And so since I've been here almost 10 years, it's been always easy. We've always had multiple options. We've always been able to sell anything and everything all the time. It was, rates would go up or whatever, but I've never kind of gone through this. And I'm curious to see where it goes from here. I hope it gets better soon for our client's sake and for the agency's sake. However, I will say, like I mentioned earlier, I am curious to see who is still standing at the end of all this. And I think it'll be a huge testimonial to us if we can survive this. And then I'm sure there's going to be people or agents or agencies that unfortunately don't survive it because it is harder. And it's going to, like I said, it's going to weed out the bad players, and it's going to leave the good ones, the honest ones that have integrity and that are just doing everything they can for their clients. And so, and I know we're going to survive it, and I know we're going to be just fine because we're doing everything we can to thrive during this time. We are marketing even more. We're hiring more. We're doing more when a lot of agencies are playing defense. I'm over here playing offense 100%. So, and I've been talking to a lot of my agency owner friends, and we're growing like niche pages. We're marketing online. We're building out new websites. We're doing a lot of stuff to grow because a lot of people right now are just trying to survive. And as much as internally, yes, we are trying to survive and we're trying to retain and we're trying to do things to still play a little defense. But at the end of the day, I'm going hard all in to get new people in. And like I said earlier, it's more business side, the commercial side. We're trying to grow out more. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's California for you right now. It's wild. California is just a wild state. It's been wild for a while now. Prices are just through the roof. It's so expensive to live here, and it's so expensive to just survive. And then you tackle on, hey, your insurance is now going from, $1,500 every 6 months to now it's $3,000. Your premium just doubled, and your income didn't double. Your income didn't go up. So groceries are up, taxes are up, gas is up, whatever it is up, right? But your income is usually staying the same unless your commission. So it's just getting really hard out there. And that's one thing, I guess, why if me being in commission is nice, because if I am struggling with money, I just work a little harder, sell some more insurance, and I can kind of make that work. But some people that are just hourly or salary even, that's tough. And so that's kind of what we're all kind of experiencing here in California right now, especially in our state. And like I said, I have friends in New York that are kind of in the same boat. Anything in like the Midwest or anything like that, like you get these rural towns, they're not feeling it as much. But I think the coasts are feeling it a lot, and West Coast, East Coast, carriers pulling out and such. We're not able to get new carriers to bring on. A lot of carriers stopped all new appointments and contracts. So we were looking at a couple new carriers, and nope, that's not going to happen. And so, it's just a wild time right now. And I think the best things I could say, like I kind of said through here, but I'm going to kind of wrap it up with this, is I think that the best thing you can do for your team and for your clients right now is have the most communication you possibly can. Talk to your team as much as you can, and talk to your clients as much as you can. Be honest and be transparent and educate them on what's going on. That's going to be your best way to retain clients and to retain your staff and to try to keep the morale up, because the more and more you hide from all this, the more and more everyone's going to question what's going on, and then people are going to start looking elsewhere. So I think the best way to retain your employees and your clients during this hard market is to have more and more communication. It's the best way to navigate through this hard market, I think, because there's nothing we can do about these carriers. There's nothing we can do about the commissioner right now. There's nothing we can do about the insurance industry as a whole. We could complain, we could try, we can send in stuff, but really at the end of the day, it's nothing we can do about it other than what we could control, which is, helping our staff where we can, keeping their morale up, communicating with them, talking to them through things, helping them with some hard conversations, maybe with clients, and then educating the clients before they get the renewal, educating them on what's happening, keeping them updated on what's happening in the industry so they know, and they're educated buyers of, okay, shoot, Taylor's not just trying to jip me and charge me a buttload amount of money. This is across the board. This is the entire industry as a whole, right? So I think that's really key when it comes to navigating this hard market. And again, I don't know how long this is going to last. I'm no expert in this. I'm no scientist. I don't have all the data. I wish I did. That's just kind of not me. But if anyone does, please share that with me, because I would love to kind of have a conversation with somebody about that. And I can have them on the show and we could discuss it. I would love to have somebody on that has some more knowledge in this, and we can kind of chat about it and educate you guys even more. This is just what I know from my honest experience throughout this whole thing, and it's fairly new because I've never been in these hard markets before. So yeah, and if you're an insurance consumer, stay where you are, pay your bill on time. You could shop it, but make sure your policy's paid and there's no lapses on your policy. You're gonna be getting renewal increases no matter what, whether it's property insurance, auto insurance, whatever it is. You're going to be seeing some rate increases right now. We got to just bear through it, toughen up, just fight through this pain, because at the other side, it's going to be great. I know at some point it's going to be great. Right now, it's not so much. So, yeah, that's what I got for today. That's my update, episode 3, navigating this hard market that we're in for the very first time. I'm trying to survive through it, leading a team through it, what that's like. If you guys have any questions, please comment. I would love to kind of start conversations with you guys about this and see how you're feeling about all this, because it's been wild over here. I don't know where you guys are located or who's watching this, where you're located. Southern California, I think all of California, but I live in Southern California, so I'm going to say for example, because that's my experience, Southern California is getting hit hard, and it's wild right now. So, yeah. So, but we'll keep going on. I'll keep you guys updated on what the market's looking like, and how it's going to be going forward. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you guys for listening to my rant about me navigating the hard markets right now. Follow, subscribe, leave me a review if you're listening to this on the Apple Podcast. That'd be really helpful. Share this with a friend I would love to kind of, have some more people listen in, follow my journey and this path of, insurance and life that we're all on. So I'm going to continue to share my life, continue to share my journey as long as somebody's there to listen. And if nobody's there to listen, I'll still share it, because one day I know that I'll look back and be like, man, you remember those times? Remember my first hard market? That was crazy. And I can go back and watch this. But yeah. All right, guys, we'll catch you soon. Thanks again for tuning in.